One of the most important question that makes people confused, that what is emotional investment and what is emotional attachment. Most of the people tell you that emotional attachment is very toxic thing and you should stay away from emotional attachments. You should practice detachment. Why? Because when you will practice detachment, then there will be no control of others' emotions on you. And there are some questions also, why emotional attachment happens. Is it happening because you are thinking about other people? It can be your friends or family members. Or if you want to get freed from these kind of emotional attachments or thinking about other people, then is it really possible? If it is possible, then what is the way? Is it sufficient to not think about people so that you will not get emotionally attached with them? These are the few questions that most of the people think. So I would like to answer these questions. First of all, we need to understand what exactly is emotional attachment. I would like to explain this from an example, like when you are talking to someone and when you are stranger to someone, then you don't care what other person is doing in their life. But when you talk to someone and other person is really caring about you, giving you time, respect and attention, you feel good and you start to feel that that person is your, like you have the connection with that person. That connection is not some visible connection, but you feel some kind of invisible connection, like you feel connected with your body parts. Like anything happens to your foot or your skin, any kind of allergic reactions, then your brain reacts, your body reacts, you feel pain. Why? Because that is part of your body. So similarly, when some other person who is totally stranger to you, when you talk to them and when you think about them, when you care about them, then you will start to expect from them also. When you care about someone, obviously you are giving your time, precious energy, then you think in your mind that now I am giving my time and energy to this person. So this person also needs to give me the time and energy when I will need. So invisibly we create that kind of a connection. If other person is also giving us good time and energy, respect, then we feel like they are mine. That is the thing. When we start the sentences with my, that you are my friend, you are mine. So this my word is very powerful word. When you use this my, you can use this for your things also, like my book, my pencil, my pen, my clothes. So when this my word comes into the existence, you are creating an attachment. Because if you will not use this word, then there will be no sense of attachment. That is the main word which you are using for creating an attachment, and that will create an invisible connection with you and your friend or anyone. So if you are thinking about your family member, when you say she's my sister, she's my son, my daughter, so you are creating an emotional attachment. So you are the one who is creating it. So is it important? Should we create? First of all, we need to understand what exactly it is and how it is being created by you, even though you are not aware of it. So when we care about something, it is very important that we only consider something as mine when we care about thing. Suppose if you don't care about your country, you will not feel so proud to call it your country. Means you will not feel any emotion when you will say that this is my country, or whatever it is, whatever you talk about. Like if you are so proud of your job, if you are emotionally feeling about it, if you think emotionally about that thing, then you will say it's my job, it's my company, even though you are just an employee over there. So the thing is, when you put your emotions into the thing and you do it, you do more than necessary, more than it is required, more than needed, then you put emotions and then in return also you expect. It is not possible when you are investing your emotions. Why it is called emotional investment? Investment is something where you put something and expect a return in the future. So emotional investment will lead to the emotional attachment. If you will not emotionally invest in someone, you cannot become emotionally attached. Now, should we emotionally attached or not? The problem is that if we completely emotionally detach with the people, if you will practically practice emotional detachment, then you will observe that life is totally meaningless. There is no use, there is no happiness, because real happiness is only coming from the relationship that you are having with yourself and the relationship you are having with others. Suppose if someone is very much alone in any place, and suppose someone is alone somewhere and there is nothing, no other person, but there are beautiful things, materialistic things, but there are no other people, will you enjoy, and for how long? After some time you will feel, what is your life? It's totally pointless, meaningless. Relationships gives you the meaning you want to live, because this is why, because you get purpose. You get purpose to live because you want to care about others, you want to talk to others, because nature has made person in a way that they have emotional needs. If emotional detachment is practically possible, then relationships, families would not have come into the existence. They are into the existence because practically it is not possible to stay emotionally detached with people. But the problem comes when you overly emotionally get attached with people, or overly emotionally invest in people. So the point is, complete emotional attachment will become the source of your pain, and complete emotional detachment will also become the source of your pain. So you need to emotionally invest, means you need to give your time and energy to others when others needs your time and energy, but in a limited space. You cannot ignore yourself and giving priority to others, because if you will do that, then what happens? Energy will burn out. You will feel so exhausted, you will feel so tired, and you will not have any energy to give to other people. So the main mistake most of the people make is that they do not care about themselves at all. They think their happiness lies in the happiness of other family members or friends, so they totally ignore their physical health, emotional health, and then they continue to suffer physical and emotional problems. This is why they are depressed, and they are continuously expecting a lot from others. Like parents are ignoring their health and taking care of their children. Later on, children do not care. And when children do not care, they feel so depressed. They feel like their children cheated. Their children did not care about them. So the thing is, what is the way of getting free from these emotional attachments? And what is the way that we should not get affected? So in short, I just want to say one thing. It is very important to have relationships in your life, and you should not put weight of all the relationships on any one relationship. Suppose if you are married, if you are a wife, you cannot afford to find friend, brother, and other relationships in your husband, because your husband is only husband. You should not try to find out friend in your husband, because in most of the books, in most of the videos, people say that you should find a friend in your husband. If you are not good friend, it is not a good relationship. But no, it is not really practical possible. If you will share everything with your husband or your wife, then definitely that relationship will break, because when you are in different relationships, there are different expectations. You can share almost everything with your very close friend, but because your close friend will not judge you. But if you are going to share these things with your kids, with your brothers or sisters, or your husband or your parents, then you will not get that much of understanding that you should get, or that you can get from your friend. So first of all, you should not put the weight of other relationships only on one relationship. This is why every relationship is important. So now the thing comes, like, why we get affected. Affection, affected things only comes when you have that thing in back of your mind, that I should do these things because I am a great person. Or you think, because sometimes ego also plays a very important role in the life of person, because when they are caring about others, they have two things in their mind. First thing is they have ego, because they think now they are doing something for others, so it makes them special, and that feelings is so full of pleasure that makes them feel like they are important. So that is one feeling. This is why most of the people are doing social works. So social work is a good thing, but the reason for doing that is their ego, because they think they are super important. So they have the power, so this is why they are doing it. Intention is very important. When you think like this, when you are doing things because of your ego, then that is becoming the cause of toxicity in your life, because if someone will hurt your ego, then you will feel so depressed. So the thing is, whenever you want to do something, you should remember one thing, that do not cross your limit. means whenever you are doing something, you should be very clear in your mind that you are going to get zero return from others. But you need to do it. Why? Because you believe in karma. That is the thing. You should do these things because if everyone is doing something, they are doing for some reason. This is the way nature made people. Nature designed the brain. You cannot do anything when you don't see your profit, any benefit in anything. It can be financial benefit, it can be emotional pleasure, it can be any sense of satisfaction. If you are getting anything, only then you will make an effort. So whenever you are doing things, you should do good things, but you need to understand that if you will expect, then emotional attachment will turn into the toxicity. Till the time you are only caring, like if you care about your kids, but do not expect. You should make plans for yourself. You should create things for yourself in future. Like you should not even depend on your spouse. You should not depend on your partner. You should not expect anything that your partner should stay loyal to you, should share everything with you. No. If you are being loyal to your partner, if you are sharing everything with your partner, then it doesn't mean that he will also do the same. So when you will expect, then that turns into the attachment toxicity. So the main thing is, if you think that you can stay without relationships, then you can experiment in, and you will realize that life becomes so boring, meaningless, and it becomes like people feel like, what is the purpose of life when there is no one with who you can share your happiness or sadness? So that's why relationships are very important. But when you are into the relationships, when you care about others more than necessary, and obviously when you care more than necessary, only then you will expect from others. And when expectations comes, then others come into the picture, and others' emotions also come into the picture. They're thinking, what they think about you. Maybe you care about them, they don't care about you. So they will not want to reciprocate the time and energy and the respect what you do to them. So they don't want to, and then those expectations will turn into the pain, the toxicity, because they will not reciprocate the thing. And then you will feel like, what is the benefit of relationships? These relationships are painful. No. So the thing is, when you will do things in the starting, after thinking that I don't have to cross my limit, because I need to be very clear that whatever I will do for these people, they are not going to give me the return. So if I am doing things only because that I think is my duty, I should do. Like if you are a sister of someone, and your brother or your sister is going through some pain, you should support your family. But you should understand that this is not necessary that they will also reciprocate. When you will not expect, then that emotional attachment cannot do any wrong thing to your mind, your body. And you will feel good, because you will have the sense of feeling that you have done good karma. Obviously, karma is very powerful. When you are doing good karma, but you are not expecting anything, you know that you have done something good and you are a good person, that is sufficient. Then no emotional attachments can cause you pain. And if you want to stay completely away from attachments, which is a very good thing, then be very careful of word my, because people get attached with things which are like things like people are getting attached with like their television, their mobile, their these kind of things. So emotional attachment with these things are very toxic, because these things are just things. You should not get attached with things, because as you may have known, that a lot of people keep a lot of old things, and they are so emotional, they don't want to sell it out, they don't want to throw it out. Why? Because they say it means they are emotionally attached. This is toxicity. I don't think this is any wise when you get attached with things, because things are not meant to get emotionally attached. Things are meant to be used and left when they are of no use. You should not treat things like people. Things are not people, and people are not things. So it's not like if someone is not useful for you, now you should leave. No, there is a difference. So be very careful when you are using the word my. Do not use this word, and when you are using this word, remember that will create an attachment. This is very difficult to move on. And what is the way that we should completely get free from attachment? I think I have explained it. Easiest way to get freed from attachment is, do not expect. That is the only thing. If you want to care about someone, you can care, but do not expect. One thing. And second is, be very careful when you are using word my, because this my inflates the ego of person. And then the problem starts. When you start saying something as my, then you are attaching yourself to that person or the thing. So the main important thing I just want to say is that emotional attachments are important, but there should